Ka committee ka ba marwi jong Justice retired PB Katakey ka balathung ban ay jingmut ya ka Sorkar ha ka bayde bar ka kam dewïong menda ka singi balang ka kan artri gusaw kala de ban pengkre bat pynbiang ki kyndon ki bapaka nagamta ban shalan bat lilam yo dewïong na jylla ki kyndon ka bakani ka committee ka la pengkre ka long baitek tang nagamta u dewïong ubala bat tang nagamta u dewïong ubala deputy lupa ha bakren bakilat pathai Khubor Justice Katakey ulaong ba kanika committee kadai kat kum kejing tha jong ka Kasri High Court jong ka Meghalaya hadin balalap ba ka Sorkar kam chimla but ya kejing tha jong ka Kasri Supreme Court bar ka National Green Tribunal ne ka NGT ha ka bai dei ba kejing shalan yu dewïong beladepti lupa haswa ban khang ka NGT ya kejing ti dewïong ha ka jylla house name arajar khatsau Ulong ru baka kam ko jong u ka long ba unwa jingtip ka batikna thek ya ka jingdon jong dewïong bala de banti namar ka Sorkar jylla kala ai jingkhen ba udon komba laipu ar lak metric ton hadin bala khang no ka NGT ya ka jingti dewïong ulai thuru ba ha South West Khasi Hills ba South Garo Hills dewïong bala de banti lupa ulajan de banyo jingkhen dot bat pentep ba ha South West Khasi Hills dewïong bala depti udon komba lai point khat khandai lak metric ton Justice retired PB Katakey ulapan paru ba ubabun dewïong ubala deputy udan ha East Jaintia Hills district bat pentipru ba sa kumba 100% la dep ban lum jingkhen bat tho bat nakalang deputy commissioner ulapan tikna ban pendep ya ka jinglum jingkhen hapo ka khat sau trek mentau benai ha ka bai dei ba ka jing ai jing mut bala pengkre da ka committee u Katakey ulaong banalor ki number kali batikna ka kerteng jong driver truck jong try kali bar ka lenti ka bak ka kali kanyat syaki jaka ban penhap yu dewïong ha ban peni hapo kasalan balai jing muru ba boro ki truck bakit yu dewïong ki dei ban don ya GPS system krang ban la ban bodin Unong besar bola song thai ulo ongru ba ka committee ala simkya ya ki jingno ha ki lat pathai Khubor ha ka bai dei ba ka jing pendon kam bakla ya ki salan la ban kdo ba ka High Court jong ka jylla ha ka khat khandai trek uyayong menta ka snem kala thong yo nong besar berem ka Guwahati High Court Justice PB Katakey banwat bnya la ka Sorkar jylla kala board na AM ya ki jing tha jong Supreme Court bar ka NGT ban num don ka jingle be an ha ka bai dei bar ka jing khayi yo dewïong na ka jylla
This meeting, in fact, pursuant to the various orders passed by the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya in a PIL, which is precisely the number is 2 of 2022. The High Court has taken up the PIL. I mean, they have gathered certain information relating to the non-implementation of the directions of the Supreme Court as well as the NGT, because a series of directions have been issued relating to the assessment of the coal, transportation of already extracted coal, extracted prior to means the ban imposed by NGT in 2014-2015, and the sale of the coal. The Supreme Court has said that that coal has to be assessed. According to the government, that was little over 32 lakh metric ton coal available, which was extracted prior to the imposition of ban. And thereafter, transportation of the same to the designated depots and giving responsibility to the CIL to auction that, because they are the experts in the coal. They know how to auction it. The problem which the High Court could identify is that those directions have not been so far complied with. So therefore, as requested by the High Court, I am here to oversee the implementation of various directions. My first attempt is to ascertain the exact quantity of coal available, because they said it's more than 32 lakh metric tons. I must know before formulating any policy of transportation as well as the auction, because while formulating the policy we must know what is the quantity to be transported from one place to another and how much time it will require, and thereafter how much time it will require to auction it. So unless you do not know the quantity, exact quantity available, it is really difficult to formulate the exact policy. And in terms of the Supreme Court order, the comprehensive policy for transportation and the auction of coal was not finalized till date. Because so many reasons. I do not blame any particular agency or any particular department of the government. And that responsibility was given by the NGT to an oversight committee constituted by the NGT. And the oversight committee also could not, for the reasons which they know best, could not finalize. But in today's proceeding, we could finalize that. That's a positive steps, at least I could do in that respect. Since the revised comprehensive plan has been finalized and which would be notified by the government of Meghalaya within a very short period of time, that's what they assured me today. And my next step is to ascertain the quantity of coal. I'm in that process. In 2 districts, they have almost completed the assessment of availability of coal, which was mined prior to the imposition of ban, and that is
Southwest Khasi Hills,
Southwest Khasi Hills
and South Garo Hills.
South Garo Hills, they have almost completed. As you know, the majority of the quantity of coal available was East Jaintia Hills district. That is major coal producing district. They could almost 50% they could assess, and 50% work is still to be done. And the Deputy Commissioner in today's proceeding has assured me that he will complete it by 14th of this month. In Southwest Khasi Hills,
it was 3.19 lakh metric ton. So out of that, they have already done 3.08.
So they are yet to do around 600 reassessment in respect of 6,000 and odd metric ton is left to be decided. And what they have found is less than what the inventory says, not that quantity of coal. And in South Garo Hills in Alphaville, almost same. Almost same.
Yes.
Salient features means what I said that earlier policy says that that policy was in respect of the sale of 32 lakh metric ton. I said that no, not 32 lakh, because that may be 10 lakh, that may be 20 lakh. That's what I said, that it is the quantity to be ascertained upon re-verification, without naming any particular quantity of coal, but that cannot be more than 32 lakh in any case. And we have also formulated a policy how the transportation is to be carried out, how the challans are to be prepared, what features are to be there in the challans, how the challans to be cancelled after once it is utilized, because there are lots of allegation of reusing the challans again and again. And what would be the contents of the challans, the name of the driver. Every truck must have the GPS system so that the truck could be located. Every truck must move a designated route till the border, except those quantity of coal which is permitted to be sold within the district, within the state of Meghalaya, because there are requirement in the state of Meghalaya even. They can sell it. But there will be a different procedure for cancellation of challans also in that case. So challans should, apart from the name of, registration number of the vehicle, the name of the owner, name of the driver, the route by which that truck will go have to be mentioned.
Has there been any reports of illegalities?
Like your assessment.
I have submitted a report to the, I think 4 or 5 reports I have submitted to the High Court.
Understood. That was then said now. Whether
Now I can't say now whether the illegal mining is going on, but one thing is sure, that transportation was going on, which I have mentioned in my report to the High Court, because that has to be accepted by the government also, illegal transportation, because they have registered the cases for illegal transportation of coal. Had there been no illegal transportation of coal, the cases would not have been registered at all. The High Court has directed to take up the issue relating to the 29 coke oven plants. I have dealt with that, and in my report, based on the information furnished by the state government, none of the coke plant is in operation according to the state government, and those 29 coke oven plants, in respect of few, though initially consent to establish was granted, those were cancelled, and in respect of those 29, none of them as on date have either the consent to establish or consent to operate. So therefore, without the consent to establish and consent to operate, they cannot run as coke oven plants. Since they do not have the consent as required under the environmental laws, there is no question of procuring any coal from any source. And the source from the state of Meghalaya, only source is purchase of coal through auction conducted by CIL in terms of the Supreme Court order. And other than there is no other source.
So we
If
see.
they export it, it's a different thing altogether. There's a lots of allegation. I have read in the newspaper only. I don't have any personal knowledge on that because I have not worked on that. And challans, allegation is that challans are being used, reused. But I have not made any inquiry in that respect because that was not the mandate.
When will be the next sitting?
Next sitting I have not finalized, depending on the High Court's order. The High Court is taking up the PIL on 18th. So whatever the orders the High Court passes, then I have to go by that order. That more than 80 coke oven plants are in operation. That finding I have recorded. But I am saying only in respect of 29. The High Court has told me to see 29 specific coke oven plants. So I am not. I cannot comment in respect of the other coke oven plants because that was not the mandate. I cannot do anything other than what the High Court directs.